If you're a business owner, you don't need us to tell you running a business is tough. Don't let QuickBooks and spreadsheets slow you down anymore. Now is the time to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle, the world's #1 cloud business system. NetSuite gives you the visibility and control over your financials, HR, inventory, e-commerce, and more. Join the over 21,000 companies using NetSuite right now. Schedule your free product tour right now at netsuite.com/C-suite. netsuite.com/C-suite.
Welcome to the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and as always, I'm here with the homie Kevin.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hopefully your week is already starting off well, or whenever you're choosing to listen to this one. But hey, I hope it's going well for you.
All right.
How about you, Q? How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. And by the way, listeners, if you're hearing this, that means we're already dead. And we're sending this message back from the future to let you guys know that
when did I die and how? I died so well that I don't remember it.
Exactly. You didn't even see it coming. It was terrible, but you shit yourself. I remember that.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah.
So it wasn't dignified. Good to know. Okay, that's how I imagined it.
Oh man. Anyway, guys, like Kevin said, hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys are ready for some more fun-filled action tonight.
Yeah, we're finally gonna finish part 2.
We're gonna finish what we started.
Yeah,
for once in our lives.
It was only 2 weeks ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it wasn't too long ago. So we're gonna finish up the podcast for the top 20 superhero movie moments of all time.
Yep.
So we gave you guys, our bottom 10.
Yeah, we gave you a quick rundown of our number 20 to 11 top 20 moments, and now we're going from 10 to our favorite absolute number 1 moment.
Right.
Indeed.
So if we don't list off, one of your favorite moments that you think should absolutely be on here, then we probably mentioned it the last time we talked about this.
Right.
And you forgot.
Yeah. Either that, or we have different favorites. That's always a possibility.
Yep. But of course, before we get into that, guys, we got some comic news.
Yeah. It's been a while since we've had this, at least. Yeah. What's going on?
A little less. We just missed a week.
Yeah.
But first up in the comic news, the actor Wilson Bethel is reportedly cast as Bullseye in Daredevil Season 3.
Oh, so they changed up Bullseye this time. Okay.
What?
Yeah. Well, remember the original Bullseye.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, they changed up everybody.
What's his name? Let's look him up.
Wilson Bethel.
All right. Google. First 3 things that pop up: Wilson Bethel, and Wilson Bethel wife.
Yep.
I know, right? Wonder what his wife looks like. Oh, this guy. Yeah. Where have I seen him from? I don't remember. Crap. No, he looks familiar though, so I think I might have seen him in some other projects, but he was. Never mind. I don't know. Okay. Cool. He's gonna be Bullseye.
Yep.
Cool.
It's gonna be Bullseye.
Okay.
Reportedly. Or allegedly.
And this is to clarify, for the Daredevil Netflix series, or what's going on?
Yeah, I said season 3.
Season 3.
So that would definitely be the Netflix series.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
So that's gonna be cool. We're finally gonna see Bullseye. We've been clamoring for him for quite some time. And so it's finally good to hear that Bullseye's coming along, and I can't wait to see how he's going to be played and what direction they're going to take with the character and the state of Matt Murdock. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff they could do. So yeah,
shoot, Daredevil's already on his IMDb. So I think
you mean Bullseye's already on the.
No, the season is actually already on Wilson Bethel's IMDb. Yeah, okay. So that's kind of cool, I guess. An assuring step.
Yep.
Yeah.
Next up, Doom Patrol series is coming to the DC Universe streaming service. So the Doom Patrol is going to get their own show. Looks like. For those of you who don't know, Doom Patrol they're the original X-Men, like in almost every way, shape, and form. I think there was a podcast we did some time ago where we covered like superhero copycats, like superheroes that are just way too similar. Right. And for one of my honorable mentions, I mentioned Doom Patrol because they're just extremely similar. Or I'm sorry, the X-Men are extremely similar to Doom Patrol. Even down to the whole concept of them being different and them being cast out by society. Right. You know, and it's even down to the leader being in a wheelchair, and there's just so many other similarities.
Blatant.
Yeah, just blatant ripoffs. But I mean, hey, what can you do?
Well, hopefully Doom Patrol gets the popularity that the X-Men has scored.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like that's impossible.
Hey, I mean, given anything enough time,
that's true.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
the show needs to be a hit to make that happen. But yes,
so hopefully this show is going to be an amazing show. And I think the most difficult thing they're really going to have on their plate is trying to differentiate themselves enough from the X-Men to stand out.
I could see that being an issue.
Yeah. I mean, because you got to think about it from most people's perspective. If the Doom Patrol tries to be organically what they are, then most of the people watching the show are going to think, well, this is just copying the X-Men.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be like 90% of the audience base, especially since most watching aren't going to know the original comic content of what it's coming from. So, I mean, I guess I'd have to ask a couple of questions like, so the leader of the Doom Patrol in the wheelchair, he's not bald, is he?
No, but I mean, they've been rebooted. Like the last time I read the last time I read the Doom Patrol was in the New 52, and they kind of taken almost a more not really bad guy approach, but kind of
interesting.
And yeah, like I forget the leader's name, but he's definitely not in the wheelchair anymore.
Okay, cool. I was about to say taking a few creative liberties in this case might be beneficial. Who knows?
Or at least, implementing the New 52 Doom Patrol would be probably best. But yeah, so here's hoping that the Doom Patrol show comes out good. There's a lot of things here. Yeah, there's a lot of things coming to the DC Universe streaming service. And so they're really trying to build up a good catalog before they launch. So that's good. And this next one is a little sad, a little unfortunate, but I had to mention it. The classic Lois Lane actress Margot Kidder passed away. Of course, she was I
did read about that. Yeah.
The actress that played Lois Lane in the wildly popular Christopher Reeves Superman series. And yeah, that's damn. It is unfortunate. I didn't look at any of the causes or anything like that. But yeah, so here's to her family and then to her fan base and her friends and all that, and yeah,
for sure.
Yep. Life happens until it doesn't. So, yep. Next up, this one has a lot of people perplexed. Me a little bit included too, but at the same time, whatever. Alfred Pennyworth is getting his own TV show.
I'm already hooked.
Yeah,
I want 3 seasons, 10 episodes apiece. Mm-hmm. What is it, like the origin story of how he became Alfred, or like what?
He was born, and then his mother named him Alfred.
That's the pilot. I'm sold.
No, I guess it's supposed to really chronicle his time. I'm not really sure yet. Probably his time in the military.
Hopefully, because that would be a fascinating story to watch.
Right, to see how, because Alfred is a well-reserved man whose talents are very much unabound. He has a lot of skills. We know that he was a combat medic for sure. Mm-hmm. Especially since he patches up Batman all the time.
You know what would be a fascinating scene for this TV show to do? And I know someone on the writing board better have this damn idea. Better than me, damn it. The scene where Alfred beats the shit out of Superman. I would pay for this show to have that scene.
That was in the Injustice storyline, though. That can't be done here.
Hey, TV shows, man. Let them do what they want. Give me a second. Actually, there was. Keep going. I need to look this up. I'll show it to you in a second here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up, the Batwoman or the Batwoman. Sure, you can call it the Batwoman. Batwoman is she's going to join the Arrowverse in the next crossover event. So for everyone who watches the CW DC universe knows that every year it does a giant crossover event, and as the DC CW verse grows, then so does their roster. This upcoming year, Batwoman's going to be on the show, and part of it will take place in Gotham. So. Hell yeah. Due to, I believe it's due to movie rights that they still cannot use Batman. And it's really interesting that Warner Brothers won't allow CW to use Batman because they let CW use Superman, but not Batman.
No, you can't use the cool one.
Oh, shit. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's interesting. I'm curious to see how she's going to be portrayed, how they're going to do Kathy Kane. If they use Kathy Kane, I don't know who else they would use for Batwoman.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know who they're going to get to play the part. I can't even begin to guess.
Right.
But yeah, so here's to hoping that that's going to be badass.
Speaking of part playing, this is what I was looking up, fellas. For the Alfred television show that DC's trying to boot up, Charles Dance. What do you think?
Who?
Oh, yeah, the guy who played Tywin.
Oh,
yeah.
You should have lived with Tywin Lannister.
Yeah, I know, right? the gentleman who played Tywin Lannister as Alfred.
It's a possibility. He seems like a mean ass Alfred.
Sir, I don't recommend you do that.
Yeah,
but in a much more British voice, much more than I can do. Yeah. But
so I guess we should get Jamie Lannister to play Batman. Okay.
No, we need someone with two hands.
Anyways, next up and last up, guys, for the comic news, Ryan Reynolds says that Deadpool 3 is unlikely.
Really?
Yeah. The next appearance that we'll see Deadpool in will most likely be X-Force.
Okay.
Yep.
Kind of handing off the franchise to them, maybe?
Yeah, maybe so. I mean...
Interesting.
Yeah, I guess, like if they feel that, Deadpool himself... that they've told like all the quality stories that they can tell with the character and that they've done everything they can with him as a solo character, then I guess maybe they figure it's time to just kind of move forward,
pass the mantle, so to speak,
something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yep.
Well, hey, I'd still be happy to see some more cool Domino and Cable stuff.
Yeah.
Hoping that they're involved somehow with the new X-Force movie. But
right.
We'll see.
Yeah, we can assume that that Cable, Deadpool, and Domino will all be in the next X-Force movie. So here's hoping so. For sure.
Boom.
Yep. That is it for comic news, folks.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it that time again?
It's that time again. Hell yeah. Are you ready, Kevin?
Yeah.
It was rhetorical anyway, but I'm glad you said yes.
I know, right? Hit me.
All right. Since I will not be able to ask this question Wednesday, I'm going to ask it tonight.
Okay.
Which mutant did not lose their powers after M Day? Was it A, Magneto, B, Professor X, C, Polaris, D, Colossus, or E, Richter?
Magneto. I mean, if I remember the story correctly, yeah, totally. It's got to be Magneto.
That is incorrect.
What? No. He was totally still Lord of Metal and everything. That sounded super metal. Shit. I'm going to write that down. But that's not the point. The point is, dude, he totally could still do his cool metal bending shit.
I don't know what you read. or when the last time you read House of M?
Oh, dude, the last time I read House of M was a long time ago. Yeah. Shit. Well, what? I was confident on that one. Who?
Colossus. Colossus was the one mutant that I mentioned that did not lose his powers.
But then Magneto, what's the deal there then? Could he not control metal?
Yeah, no, even at the end of, I guess we'll discuss it more in detail on Wednesday, but even at the end of House of M,
sure.
He even tries to lift the fork, and he can't do it.
Oh, shit. I see what I did wrong. You said the end of House of M, right?
Or after House of M.
Right, after the actual telling of the story, not in the middle of the story when, the House of M was actually established, so to speak, without going into super detail. But
the question was, which mutant did not lose their powers after M Day?
You son of a bitch. Yeah, no, I misheard that entirely. My brain just filled in the gap and said something else like, well, that's easy. Yeah, I know who did it.
I'm not sure what you heard.
No, that one was totally me. That was a fair question. It's one of those moments, guys, whenever you're in school and you're doing the Scantron test and you just want to be done with the damn thing so hard, and all of a sudden you get to this question and you read it too fast and it seems stupid easy, but then the wordplay in the question just tricks you and you realize you tripped and fell on your face. That's what happened here, folks. Damn it.
And this is one of the times where I was not even trying to trick you. No trick questions. No.
I just started thinking like, oh, that's easy. Yeah, shoot. Well, Magneto definitely didn't lose his powers in that because he was the Lord of the House of M and everything, the Lord of Metal. And all right.
Yep.
Damn it. I gotta give it to you. That was definitely me just mishearing the question. I can only imagine an audience member out there right now listening like, oh yeah, I misheard the question too. And then another one right beside them saying, are you kidding me, dude? Really? Yeah. I'm hoping I'm not the only one, but damn it.
I don't know.
Oh well. Hey, if the questions have taught me anything, you can't win them all.
You got that right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are correct on that.
There you go. Tally up. All right. So, how shall we divide into this, my friend? You want to start us off with your 10?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a little worried that we might have the same number 1. We'll see. I'm worried about that because then it's like, damn it, how can we both share that awesome, powerful moment? But we'll see. What's your 10, buddy?
Yeah. So, moving on with the list.
Yeah. I've been excited for this for a while.
Yeah. My number 10 here, just picking up where we left off at, is Ozymandias versus the Watchmen and the Watchmen. Yeah, this to me was just an incredible scene here. For one thing, the way that it's filmed, Zack Snyder has just beautiful cinematography. And everything just looked gorgeous. But seeing Ozymandias' plot unfold before their very eyes, before Rorschach and Night Owl, them realizing, oh shit, this is happening. Like this is what's happening, and seeing their futile attempts to stop him. Despite their best efforts, they just couldn't do anything. And then the realization that Ozymandias tells them, why would I tell you my plan if it hasn't already been put in motion? It's already happened. And, then,
Which finally a smart villain.
Yeah. An extremely intelligent villain. And that's if you want to categorize him as such.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
He was a brilliant mind. And his whole plan was actually set out to save the world through extreme means and methods. I said this, I think, in a previous podcast, maybe, but he and Thanos would probably get along really well, just because they're both out to save worlds with really extreme fashions.
You can join the Black Order. Come.
Yeah. Well, Thanos needs a new Black Order now.
He does. This is true. You're the beginning of the Black Order.
Yeah.
Can you change your colors from purple to black, though? Because I'm purple. And you don't get that color.
But even then, seeing Dr. Manhattan being outsmarted by Ozymandias, That was also an incredible thing to see also. And so this to me was just like the culmination of the entire movie was right here. Like what they considered to be the world's smartest man just performed an amazing feat. And so just seeing it from the action standpoint to the storytelling standpoint to the way that everything was delivered, it was just all so well done. To me, this was definitely one of my favorite movie moments. It had not only great action, but just it was dripping with drama and with plot details and with just all the things that make for an amazing scene all at once.
Yeah.
So this was definitely one of my favorite movie moments.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
That's a good one. Yeah, definitely. That was debatably going to be on my awesome list too. My number 10 is going to be one of my few moments on this half of the list that have this tone about it. Every other moment is a dramatic shift, you'll notice. Because remember, we talked about in the first top 20, talking about there's a huge difference in our list. Yeah, there are. Mine are a lot more action versus comedy moments. But this half is definitely a thicker concentration of a different tone. But number 10, most people are going to interpret as, the same thing, So we talked about this off mic last time too, if you recall. One scene that made me giddy as shit. A grown man becoming giddy. Yes, you heard it. The Weapon X appearance in the middle of Days of Future Past.
Apocalypse?
Yep. Okay, that one, excuse me. But that one moment alone sold the movie to me. I loved it. And the reason I loved it wasn't because I'm that much of a huge Wolverine fan. It was because that image, that picture of Wolverine, the one I finally got to see on screen, accurately done for the first time, was my interpretation of him growing up as a kid. So like some of these people love seeing, Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff on screen again because it reminds them of their childhood, and I love this show because I watched it when I was 10 and something or whatever. That was that moment for me, and it resounded and I loved it. And dadgum if he didn't just steal the movie in one short 10-second scene, He
did.
Exactly.
It was more like a 3-minute murder scene.
It was amazing,
but
though.
Yeah, it was great. I liked how they incorporated even the helmet and the
exactly, like the cyber junk on his belt. Yeah,
that was an extremely comic book accurate depiction.
Hell yeah, it
of
was.
Wolverine during the Weapon X experiment.
And plus, the thing that I think was the most accurate in that scene was the actual animalistic behavior he had, because this is when they just got done mind wiping the hell out of him and just making him into literally a weapon, and it was fascinating to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cool how they kind of intertwined the younger X crew into everything or whatever. It
didn't do anything for the timeline in the X-Men universe.
No, definitely
didn't do any favors to that. But it was definitely a really great scene to watch on his own, and just watching him murder everybody was also fun too.
Hell yeah!
Like I said, to me, it became almost like a horror scene, because there were people that were just running around and then they were all frightened and didn't know what the hell to do, and you could see claw marks and dead guys just laying everywhere. It was great.
Hell yeah!
Let's see. My number 9 is the opening scene from Days of Future Past.
Okay.
To me, this was an amazing scene. This right here did something that definitely needed to be done way before Infinity War did. It was not afraid to just kill people. And at the beginning of this movie, we see so many mutants fall victim to the Sentinels. And it was just such an amazing scene to watch, because they're in this desolated dystopian type future, and they're trying their best to hold up in this one place just to survive long enough to do what they need to do. And then the Sentinels come, and not only do the Sentinels arrive, but we see the mutants put on their powers in a full awesome display.
Yeah.
Like everyone here gets a moment to shine, from Bishop to Warpath. Iceman does some amazing stuff. Storm does, so does Blink. And like all of these mutants are doing just an amazing job. But we get to see the Sentinels for the first time on the big screen, and they're doing an even better job. The Sentinels are wiping the floor with the mutants, and it's equally heartbreaking and amazing to watch.
Oh yeah.
It really sets the tone for the movie. It shows the dire stakes that are set here in the movie, and it also shows just how formidable these Sentinels are. It was just a great opening scene that did an amazing job. This is one of like the most tonally appropriate scenes I've seen in an X-Men movie, because it really just showed how desperate and how much in danger the X-Men were.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, that's true. It really was. I remember that moment. I also remember we conversed about that moment recently, because I mistook that Storm for Halle Berry when it was indeed not Halle Berry.
No, that was Halle Berry in Days of Future Past.
No, what?
You said Apocalypse. And I told you that Halle Berry was not in Apocalypse.
I need to go back and watch both of those movies again. I need to have a Saturday X-Men Apocalyptic Days of Future Past marathon, so I can continue to confuse the two some more. Maybe it'd be smarter to watch them separately. One on one Saturday and one on like the next. Because, it's...
Right.
When did the most recent one come out? How long ago?
Shit, was it last year or the same year as Deadpool?
No, it was further.
It was 2016 then.
Yeah, okay.
2016,
okay.
I think. Yeah.
It can't be last year, because my memory cannot become that bad. So I'm going to claim 2016 and look it up in a second here.
Yeah.
But damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, those movies, man. I watched them. It's like, this was great. This was really cool. Won't.
Basically, like
Mind wipe.
one of them is the greatest X-Men movie ever, and the other one is not.
Yep. Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
Okay. My number 9, I kind of reached into the past for this one, and this is going to be almost a little hypocritical, I imagine, because I can't remember a 2016 movie, but I know this movie, damn it. So, before John Bernthal became the Punisher, we had other examples who punished the criminals before him. Thomas Jane, in his interpretation of the Punisher, was my favorite for a long time. And the ending of that Punisher movie, not the one that came afterwards, don't get me wrong, fellas. No, I'm talking about the one where John Travolta was the villain, okay? That Punisher movie. That ending alone, for me, really hit it home.
Wow.
I loved it. Oh, yeah. Because not only did we get to see the savage side, the cold-hearted killing machine that Frank Castle really was, with like this great, you look like you're in shape. Here, hold out this weight. Hell of a workout. Blew up the sun, and then drags John Travolta all around this parking lot, blowing up cars in the shape of his skull. I loved it as a kid growing up. And then, not only that, but just the depth of what that meant for him. Like, this is supposed to be his moment of peace. And he did not look like he was at peace at all. You know, walking away, just keep pressing his little detonator. And he's still just grim-faced, frowning Frank Castle. And if you recall the movie like I do, you'll remember that after that scene, he goes to a very dark personal moment himself, kind of further reflecting that, well, I gained my vengeance, but what did I really gain off of this? You know, what did I really get from all of this? And it almost all of it just really led to a great just, so this is who he really is moment for me. You know,
I did not see that coming.
I know, right? Yeah. Happy I can surprise.
Yeah. And there's two versions of the ending. There's the theatrical version, and then there's like the director's cut version. And the director's cut version, he actually puts a gun to his head at the end, and he's about to pull the trigger. He's shaking and crying, and then he has like a flashback of his family, and then something kind of
like triggers in his psyche. Yeah.
Yep.
That's the ending I'm talking about. That's the one where it's like he went to that dark personal space, and you know, it was just about to tick it out, you know, but instead continues being the Punisher. And Yeah, no, that ending alone, watching that growing up as a kid was like, oh my gosh, this guy, there's incredible depth to him, you know? Yeah, I mean, still to this day, The Punisher is one of my favorites. I'm not even gonna lie, you know? Damn.
Well, damn.
How about you, man? What's going on? Moving up the ladder.
All right. Where are we at now? Number 8. My number 8 is Batman versus Superman. Of course, this fight I'm talking about takes place in the movie Batman versus Superman.
Wait, really? Are you sure? That's too easy.
But yes, Batman versus Superman to me was an amazing fight. I loved seeing this. The first time ever that we got to see these two, comic book juggernauts on the screen at the same time. And, to me, this was just an amazing culmination of different philosophies and ideologies. And also just, skill and technique.
Right.
It, to me, was just as appealing on a visual level because, as I'm sure you guys know by now, I love Zack Snyder and his directorial approach to movies and filmmaking. And so I love how everything was shot and how it was shown in theaters. And I also love not only just the physical fight, but like I said earlier, the fight of different ideologies and also the learning process that both these men went through in this fight. We get to see all kinds of fun stuff from, of course, the automated Gatling guns that Batman calls for to distract Superman, and Superman ripping the shit out of them, and then the gas gun Kryptonite, and that incapacitates Superman.
That
and we
thing
get
was cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we get to see Batman pummel Superman to the point where, the Kryptonite's wearing off, and you can see the punches not having any effect anymore. I mean, the whole thing was great, but what I love the most was really the talk that these two have. Superman going to Batman for help finding his mother because his mother at this point had been kidnapped by Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And Batman's not having any of it. This is a Batman who has lost a Robin and who watched an entire city, Metropolis, crumble during the Zod fight and invasion. This is a Batman who feels like he's not in control anymore because he's lost so much now and he feels like he's no longer effective. This is a Batman now who's gone off the edge. And the entire movie as a whole is about Batman finding redemption and about him coming back and being the hero again and no longer the monster. And it's at this moment where he does. As he's about to kill Superman, he's talking with Superman and he's saying, I bet your parents taught you that you were special, that you meant something. You know what my parents taught me? Dying in a gutter. And it was just so visceral.
It really, yeah. I mean, you can feel the verbal slap.
Oh yeah.
That's hard shit.
Yeah. You can feel all that in this depth. And then, of course, there's the controversial Martha scene, which I know you guys are thinking about.
I was going to ask you a short question about that.
Yeah.
But please, you're already bringing it up. Let's dig into it. Yeah.
I was really surprised that a lot of people didn't understand the Martha scene, either because, I don't know if they weren't paying attention or if maybe they didn't get it or what the case was. Not trying to sound like a pretentious asshole or anything.
Right.
But for me,
hopefully not.
Yeah. For me, the Martha scene, it came off to me fairly obvious that this was a Batman who was about to kill what he perceived was a monster from another world that could snap and kill everyone if this monster so wanted to. And in this moment, this monster called out for Martha, and Batman at this point, you can tell in Ben Affleck's performance, I don't give a damn what anyone says, Affleck did a great job. You can tell by his performance in this part, the look of shock on his face, that he's thinking, does he have some kind of trick where he can read my mind? Like, how does he know?
He's Batmaning the situation.
Right,
just really trying to compute what's going on.
What's happening here? He's like, maybe he has a skill that I don't know about, and he's trying to distract me by, stating my mother's name. And then Superman goes, no, I need you to save Martha. And now this is a key moment for Superman as well, because in Superman's possible final moments, he's calling not for Batman to spare his life. He's calling for Batman to save his mother.
Right. Because at this point, he's proven that if anyone could do it,
right,
it'd be the man who took down the super dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what Superman, that's what his final words are going to be, is save Martha, save my mother. And of course, Superman wouldn't save people. He wouldn't say save my mother. Batman probably wouldn't know who the hell his mother is.
Exactly. At that point, he'd be like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say that's a check off the to-do list and move on about my merry life.
And it's at that point where is revealed to Batman that his mother's name is Martha, and of course Batman's mother's name is Martha, but that's not the.
A lot of people were distracted by that.
Right, they were.
It was astounding how many people made fun of that.
Yeah, it was astounding. It really was. Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, let's back up and watch that again, shall we?
Yeah. Batman wasn't dumbfounded that his mother's name was Martha. He was dumbfounded that he had misjudged Superman so erroneously. It was at this point that Batman realized, I was about to kill you, and you didn't plead for mercy. You pled for me to save your mother's life.
I mean, at this point, Superman proved his humanity.
He did.
Thus proving that, I can't kill this person. Right. This is a type of person.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then on top of that, at this moment, a metaphorical mirror was raised up to Batman's face, and he realized that he was about to become the same type of monster that took his parents from him.
Yeah.
And Batman was not going to be that man. And then he said, don't worry, Martha's not going to die tonight.
See, that's the beauty of these two characters. It took some years, and it took some it's like carving stone, it takes some careful shaving off, and it takes a little bit of careful polishing. But after years of writing these two characters, Batman and Superman are probably the most perfect example of characters that can see themselves in each other constantly. They are the camaraderie that build upon each other more so than, most other examples that you can find in the comic book genre.
And they envy each other.
Exactly. And that's I will never forget. I'm pretty sure this is New 52 shit. I don't get to read a lot of that because, I'm poor. But it was a fascinating scene where it was Batman and Catwoman on one half of the panel, and then the other half
Rebirth,
was... See, I already read part of it. And Superman and Lois, yeah. Well, thank you. I want to make sure it was still that girl, yeah. And then they're like talking about each other, and it was uncanny the shit they're saying, and it's all similar, and it's like, damn, they're fans of each other.
Yeah.
You don't see well-written shit like that in any other sources nowadays. Like, you gotta dig deep to find that type of layered, awesome, just parallelism. Yeah. But
agreed.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
And you're right. A lot of people don't interpret the beautiful layers of that scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I guess, most movies nowadays, definitely not all, but the thing that can oftentimes separate, a good movie or a great movie is how smart they think the audience is. And so in a lot of movies, they'll just spell things out and
I hate that.
Yeah, me too. Big bold letters and useless exposition, and beat you over the head with
exactly.
it.
And I have to correct myself here before people assume the worst about me. I don't hate movies like that. I understand that movies like that have to exist because
I agree.
There are people who might not be able to fully interpret other movies, and that's cool. And that's not a judgment call. That's just life. That's just the way we have, a society. But I hate it whenever it's like those movies, those spoon-feeding, here comes the choo-choo bullshit comes to us, and people rave about it. And people say it's the best. And people give it the love and devotion and award and attention, more so than the awesomely made, intelligent shit that was actually given to us. And it's like, oh, wow, this is a prize. This is a lesson. This is valuable.
Right.
This is content, not, daggum spoon-fed, baby food, whatever the hell baby food is, besides applesauce. Like, what?
Mashed bananas.
Mashed bananas, damn it. This isn't mashed bananas.
Batman vs. Superman is not mashed bananas.
That's our first t-shirt. And there's like a cross-out symbol over baby food on the back. I'm writing that down. I don't know if that'll be the shirt, but we'll see.
Yeah, but just to wrap up my thoughts on this. Number 8.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you're fine, man. I'm wrapping it up now. But Batman vs Superman, don't get me wrong, I am a fan of the movie, but trust me, I understand more than anyone that it is not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But this is a damn near perfect scene, and I cannot take that away from the movie.
Yeah.
So that is why the Batman vs Superman fight is definitely my number 8 of my top 20 moments.
You know, if we had commercials in this line of business, I would cut out the snippet of everything we just spoke about and make that a short ad talking about, like, hey, come listen to us, and this is why.
Yeah. About the baby food.
Well, that part would be the tail end of the ad, but all the good stuff leading to it.
Yeah.
What number are we on? I got lost in the conversation. 8, right?
Yep, number 8.
Thank you. So my number 8 admittedly isn't as beautiful as that, definitely. I'm still working up to my most beautiful scenery here, but my number 8 is the infamous Civil War airport scene. And it's the entirety of the scene, not the thickness of the air when everyone's meeting up and they're doing the cliche standing line thing. Like that, I can take or leave that. Like, okay, we're not always going to start every battle, one side versus one side like a damn chess game. No, whatever. But the fluid motion of the entirety of the scene, from the fighting, from the Ant-Man becoming Big Man all of a sudden, and then, daggum Spider-Man, the kid taking down Winter Soldier and Falcon of all people. Like, oh shit, it was just a really well done scene. It was I don't want to be insulting, but it was the
best part of the movie.
Yeah. I wanted to say that in so many words, but yeah, it was the most valuable, best part of that whole daggum movie, because that was the only part that the movie really deeply cared about. There, I said it, but no. That whole scene was just awesome to watch, seeing finally the capabilities of these superheroes and these new superheroes that we just scored, that being, of course, Black Panther and Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I got to say that, just like Batman vs. Superman, Civil War was not a perfect movie.
Yeah.
But this was damn near a perfect scene.
Oh, yeah. Like, and, this was the one scene that had to be good.
Right. And that is why that is my number 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. See, I was worried about vice versa. Like, your number 1 was going to be my number 1. No, instead, my number 8's your number 7. Yep. I didn't think about that angle. Yeah. Shit. Well, yeah, please take it away. Yeah.
So like Kevin said, guys, the airport scene in Civil War was just amazing. Like, for anyone who grew up reading comics or watching the cool ass cartoon TV shows, you can imagine these things, but you never thought that you'd see something like this on the big screen. And I believe this fight clocked in at like 14 and a half minutes. So it was a lengthy affair, and it was all quality stuff. Yeah. It was all so good.
I mean, we talk about much more in depth in the Wednesday night series where we're actually, talking about the MCU and the Civil War individual podcast. And you talk about like the minute and second count to the T. Yeah. Like you did the pausing necessary to make it happen. Yeah. But, go back and listen to the cast.
Oh yeah. There had been some pretty cool fight scenes in the movie up until this point, and some pretty cool stuff afterwards as far as the fighting goes.
True.
But this here was definitely like the staple that held this thing together. Yeah. Like, this fight was just so tremendously good that, it's like you set the bar so high. Like, I don't know if that can be, done again in that type of fashion.
That's true. Like, with this tone, with the drama going on in the backstory, setting up this fight, no, it'd have to be work to get it done to that level or better ever,
And what's also interesting is that everybody's fighting for a purpose.
Exactly. Like, that's the beauty of it. It wasn't just an all-out brawl fest, like a, daggum, like everyone's drunk, let's get, let's punch each other.
It wasn't like Angry Man,
Exactly. Although, admittedly, I do love those scenes so much. Especially the second one, when, like, even Kanye got involved. Like, what the hell?
Even though that would have been amazing now that I think about it. If Civil War had done that.
Someone called Will Ferrell. Make it happen. Yeah. But,
I mean, that's just one of the best fights one of the best fight scenes or best movie scenes ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you just can't beat that airport scene.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Actually, are you comfortable with your 7?
Yeah.
That does lead perfectly to my number 7. And you already mentioned it before, I believe. Help me remember if you did or didn't. But one of the most beautiful fight scenes that made me smile so hard my cheeks hurt, and made me a fan of Superman.
I knew it.
I know, right?
I knew it.
You already know it, yeah. Was the Superman versus Justice League scene. When he freaking comes back from the dead, because we all knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know it was going to happen like this. Where he comes back, and he's just like raging out against everyone. It don't matter who's coming up. Aquaman, freaking Jason Momoa version, F that, you know. Wonder Woman, nope. And then my favorite to this day is still the Flash thinking, oh, I'm going to get the trick on him. I'm going to just run really fast. I'm so daggum fast. But then Superman is just like looking at him the whole time like, I see you. I see you back there. What you got? You ain't got nothing. And then, you know, Ezra Miller's face is flashed the whole time. It's just like dumbfounded, like, oh shit, he sees me. He can keep up with me. It was awesome. I loved that whole scene.
So did I.
Man.
So did I. That was just such a fun scene to watch.
Yeah.
Just seeing like just the raw power of Superman. Like seeing a Superman that's not holding back like he typically does.
Exactly.
This was a Superman that was disoriented and you know he was all messed up from being dead.
Exactly.
And seeing him brought back to life was just, it was a really fun scene to watch.
Oh yeah. I mean, Henry did a damn good job with this scene. I would be ecstatic to see some Henry Superman action continuing in the future, you know? Yeah. But I don't know about the mustache though, but yeah. That aside, this whole scene was just daggum, dude.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hey, can dead bodies grow facial hair? Probably
actually,
not.
Yes. No, yeah. Dead bodies do still grow hair and nails.
Oh, well then they could have kept the mustache.
That's true. In that case, his hair should have been longer, not perfectly cut and everything. That's, you know, yeah. But then I guess they would have had to ask the question, how does a Superman cut super hair, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, that's still a question that I'm not sure has ever been answered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually, yeah. We'll have to research the comics on that one.
Yeah. Are we ready for number 6?
Yeah, we're moving up.
Yeah. Number 6, Batman versus Bane. Their first encounter in The Dark Knight Rises. How could I not put this in here?
I know, right?
You guys knew it was coming. Oh, man. So, where to even start with this? This fight was more than just a fight. This fight was like the building block for the rest of the movie. This fight really showed so much about both characters, and it was so amazing to watch. And then the dialogue was more than just fancy dressed up bad guy lingo.
I know, right?
The dialogue was deep and it was meaty, and there was a lot of substance to it. This was a fight where Batman had just come out of recluse, just came back.
Yeah.
He's kicking ass and he's feeling good again, and he thinks he's good enough to take down Bane because everyone is falling to Batman, you know?
Yeah.
What's up?
No, I was just thinking about the little funny skits that were done about this scene after the movie was released. You know, it's like, I tried to fight that dude once and he straight up broke my back, you know?
Oh, yeah, the Pete Holmes series.
There it is. Thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot the name. Thank you. Yeah, but no, you're right. That whole scene, it was more than just a cool fight scene in a dark and dank sewer. You know, it was...
Yeah, what was so impressive about this to me, when I'm watching it in theaters, even till now, is that there was no music playing for this fight scene. For most fight scenes you watch, there's a big, you know, to-do score in the background.
Right,
That's, you know, that's helping you get into the mood for the big fight.
And especially in Batman movies, because they are notorious for their scores. You know, it's like, damn, they got good music. Yeah.
But for this, there was no Hans Zimmer in the background. It was just, all you heard was like the cracking of the punches and just like the dripping of like pipes in the background.
It really emphasized the raw power going on here. Yeah.
And then just those two breathing, like that's all you heard. And then just the whole reason, like, because throughout the fight, Bane is telling Batman why he's going to lose. That's essentially what Bane is telling him. Mm-hmm. And, you know, from the very beginning, we see Batman come out, you know, with, you know, doing his typical Batman, you know, stick. And he's not having any of it. And Bane is telling him that, look, you know, you and I come from the same place. We have the same trainers, theatricality and deception, are powerful agents to the uninitiated. But we are initiated, aren't we, Bruce?
You love that quote so much.
And every part of that was meant to strip down Batman to being just a bare man, to not being this urban legend or this mythical creature. He was trying to strip him down to just plain old Bruce Wayne. And that's why he said that he even called him Bruce. And that's a power play.
It really is, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, it takes away the psych attributes that Batman has been able to use so damn well on everybody until this fool, you know.
Because the smoke bombs aren't working on Bane.
He doesn't care about that.
Yeah, and then Batman kills all the lights. And then, you know, that's when we get the classic quote, the darkness. You think you were born. I was born in the darkness.
Exactly, yeah.
We get that entire...
Bane's just like, fool, you gave me my prime environment.
Right. Yeah. And I love how this was shot because everything is dark except on Bane. That's the only thing we can see because Batman's killed all the lights. So we as the audience, we can't see Batman, we can't hear Batman.
Right.
But Bane is talking and he's telling Batman about how, you know, he was born in the dark and he was molded by it. And then he goes, by the time I saw the light, it was nothing but blinding. And as he says blinding, he reaches out and grabs Batman by the throat and brings Batman, you know, so that we as the audience can see him. And it was just an amazing thing to watch.
Exactly. Just really emphasizing how daggum badass this dude really is. And how it's like, I can see you this whole time, buddy.
Yeah, it was all so great. And I know you guys are tired of me with the whole theatricality and deception thing. But it's one of my favorite quotes for a reason. Because it's basically Bane stating that, look, I know what you're doing. Like your tricks don't work on me. These are all just for theater. These are all just, you know, for theatrics, and I'm seeing through that. And you can't deceive me either. I know that you're not this mythical creature. I know that you're not, you know, this urban legend of the night. I know that you're just a man.
Right.
And I'm going to show you that I'm a better man than you.
And the dangerous thing about this, folks, especially if you have a hard time understanding the quote, is that Batman's weaponry has always been his power, you know, his training, and his theatricality, which, you know, his weaponry, his bat costume, his ability to scare everybody. But now you strip the theatricality, it's power versus power. And Bane was just so damn powerful, so great.
Yeah, you have to think about it like this. If you're, you know, a thug or a criminal or what have you, and you find yourself encountering the Batman.
What do you know?
And like all of a sudden, like, you know, you have like your criminal friends with you, and then 3 of them just suddenly disappear, and you have no idea what the fuck just happened.
I know, right?
And then you're looking around, and now you're shitting yourself because you don't know what's going on. And you're like, oh no, is it the Batman? Is it real? Is the Batman real? And then like you see this cape thing flying overhead, but you only get a glimpse of it, but you know that thing just flew.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're being snatched up in the air by your leg, and you don't even know how this is working. Or you see just all the lights go out. How the hell did he cut off all the lights? Yep. This thing is a creature. And it's so funny because Batman works by fear, and that fear is fueled by his theatricality.
There you go.
But that just does not work on Bane.
Yeah.
And so, this is just definitely one of my favorite scenes of all time. This to me set the bar for telling a story and having a fight scene at the same time. Batman versus Bane, their first fight in The Dark Knight Rises, is definitely my number 6.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Ours tonight are reflecting very well. My number 6 reflects one of my personal favorites and also one of my personally favorite, you know, choice of movies. So my number 6 is the opening scene to Logan. If you recall, ladies and gentlemen, we see our hero, our Wolverine, our badass entrepreneur of just fighting and death and just tragedy in his life, lying down in the back seat of some random ass car with empty bottles of liquor and a rugged, bad-looking tux. And all of a sudden, we see him get up and walk out, and there's a bunch of people trying to take the hubcaps off his futuristic, admittedly looking, limo.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You're just going to strip the bolts. See, they're coming off. And he doesn't even care, but they're attacking him. And the fight doesn't start off immediately with him just like immediately disposing of them as would old Wolverine, just without a second thought or a sweat. Instead, we get really doubt. We see him getting kicked around by a bunch of common thugs. He's on the ground and his claws won't even fully come out. But then finally we see the embodiment of his rage. And by the way, this was the first R-rated version of Wolverine. And this first scene gave us the most Wolverine we've ever had in any movie combined. Because quickly, as the rage finally turned on and we get Logan really returning as actual Wolverine, just limbs are flying, people are screaming. And it's just like immediately the fight is done. But he still walks out of the fight coughing, beaten up, exhausted. Like this one scene, as you were saying, does a damn good job of starting the story, of sharing not just a fight scene, but also the description of a character, of giving us more depth to him and understanding that this is not our common hero. This is who he is now. This is someone who's been through some thick tragedy, And it was beautiful and sad, and it was just an orchestra of, oh, wow, is this what I'm in for?
Yeah.
Is this who I'm rooting for? Is he going to make it, And, I mean, damn, it blew me away.
Yeah, this scene really set the precedence for the rest of the movie.
Exactly.
Like you said, we see this battered Wolverine who already looks defeated mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks like this is Wolverine that the movie tells you basically that he doesn't have anything left to fight for, so he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah, hence why he was telling them don't bother stealing it instead of just immediately punching heads.
Yeah. Think about Wolverine in any other movie. Think about him in the Wolverine or in Days of Future Past when he was like his most ferocious on screen prior to.
Well, he probably wouldn't have woken up drunk from the back seat. He probably would have been drinking in the back seat, and just like, oh hey, there's some people coming. Let me go take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like even one of his claws doesn't pop properly. Like it's jammed.
Like they become like short stubs.
Yeah.
Like like oh, I guess that's a fancy brass knuckle instead of my full on claw set. But yeah,
right. Oh, but yeah, that was an amazing scene. It was as awesome as it was sad to watch.
Exactly. And it set the pace in the immediate tone for what's happening to Wolverine, for what story we're about to witness.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's time for number 5.
All right. Yeah, we're getting up there pretty quickly.
We are.
All right.
My number 5 is Avengers Assemble in Avengers 1. Yeah.
Nice.
To me,
that's iconic.
Yeah. That's what it is. Like, to me, this was so iconic, and it was so mind-blowing, fanboy, just...
Yeah.
It was just such a great thing to see. Them all in their individual movies first, and now we're seeing them all together on the screen at the same time. That's never been done before.
Yeah.
And then to see it here, and then to see them all come together to fight this one common threat, it was just so much fun to see. And then we see the shot of them like kind of circled around each other, and then the camera pans around and we see them all just gearing up and getting ready.
Oh yeah.
And it was just an amazing scene to watch. It just really showed that even though people think the movie's getting stale and everything's been done, this was the first time anything like this had ever been done, and it was one of the most impressive things I've seen. Of course, Joss Whedon did an amazing job with all the directing like the fight scenes and the choreography, and then the lines that they delivered. He understands those characters so well. And it was just so much fun to see that on the big screen for the first time. That had to be on my list. Yeah.
Avengers 1, it's always going to be up there with the Marvel, with the MCU, man. Yeah. You gotta appreciate the classics.
Gotta appreciate the classics, man. Yeah. You know, that's the thing. Like, I feel like 40 years from now, when we're old men, and you know,
oh yeah, this is going to be our classics.
It is, yeah. And you know, we're going back watching the equivalent of our parents watching those black and white films.
Yep.
You know, like
blow the dust off our Blu-ray players. Yeah.
Freaking kids be like, what is that? This is a Blu-ray player.
You actually pull out a physical disc, and they're like, right. The hell is that?
Is that a Frisbee? What are you doing with that?
Wait. They don't have CDs and diskettes in the future, but they have Frisbees still?
Futuristic Frisbees.
Okay. Like, instead of looking like plates, they're all like fancy rings or something, I guess?
Sure.
Why not? With like easy catch material in the center.
Also, I think that we're extremely exaggerating 40 years from now.
We are.
I don't think that futuristic Frisbees are going to be a priority 40 years from now.
Unless Apple just buys everything. So in other words, Frisbees instead are called iFrisbees, you know? And they're all like Apple based. Like you have to have an Apple Watch to play Frisbee. Please don't make this a thing, Apple.
Nice. But no, I just feel like, you know, like in the future, like kids will look at, you know, the Avengers and be like, oh yeah, that old thing, huh? What's so good about this movie? What's so good about this movie?
I know, right? Kid, you're grounded.
Yeah, shut your damn mouth and appreciate this classic. Yeah. But yeah, the Avengers Assemble scene, that is my number 5.
In 40 years, you'll probably be saying that to your grandkids. Yeah.
That's if I have kids.
This is true. This is true. Both of us are on the track right now where it's like, are kids still a thought?
I mean, you know, like there's over 7 billion people on this planet. To have kids, I would not be helping the earth. So the way I look at it, you know, I am helping the earth more by not procreating. Possibly. Like unless like my future child is going to be like the John Connor of the world.
You would take that route. That's impressive.
But for those of you that have kids, your kids are special. They are unique. Continue to raise them right and make sure they read plenty of comics.
Please.
Yeah. What's your number 5, buddy?
Yeah. My number 5, actually, I went with something more recent. And this is the only recent movie, by the way, just a little short insert here. Because Deadpool 2 was released after this list was written, none of the movie material from that is going to be on this list. Especially because there might still be a listener out there who hasn't seen Deadpool 2 yet.
Right.
So that would just be dickish. But nonetheless, this is my organic top 5 even still. So in Infinity War, there's a very short moment, not even a full scene, but a moment that I think went over a lot of audience members' heads, and I hope it didn't. I hope you right now, listener, you individual I'm talking to, interpreted this scene in the special way that I did. But there's a short moment when Thanos snapped. Afterwards, I'm talking about afterwards now. We don't know what the hell happens, but Thanos sees a figure in the distance, and we're sitting there thinking, you know, at least I was myself, I'll admit, thinking to myself, oh, do we finally get to see Lady Death? You know, oh, this would be awesome. What's going on, Death? Hey, how you doing? Do you like me yet? But no, instead it's the child Gamora. And it was fascinating seeing her, like, oh, okay. And you start thinking to yourself, well, maybe the child Gamora in this case is kind of playing the responsibility of Lady Death, right? And that would, you know, that makes sense to a number of people, yes. But then the insightful questions he gets, like, did you do it? Yes. What did it cost you? What did it cost you? And that moment right there, when she asked that question, my entire head flared up like, oh shit, we're finally getting some depth in these movies. We're finally getting some real good shit. And then what he responded with, everything. That right there spoke volumes to me. You know, I loved that interpretation that we see finally a villain who's got a lot more to him than just a devious plot and an evil looking costume and, you know, dark body paint for some dumbass reason, you know. Instead, we see someone who actually had his separate objective, and the heroes were counterproductive to that. in fact, they were in the way of that, literally, you know? And we see finally a hero, or I'm sorry, a villain. Damn, that says a little bit about me, doesn't it? Shit. He's a hero. No, but, excuse me. We see a villain who understands that, who still made the decisions he made, and became changed. And that's the thing. We got to witness the change. And that itself, for me, was beautiful. Because there's a lot of just... That's how you work a character, damn it. You know? Yeah. That's it.
You're right. Yeah. You know, what's interesting about Thanos and about Infinity War as a whole is that if you never watched a Marvel movie before, and if they were to cut and splice this movie appropriately so that you watch the movie even more so from Thanos' perspective, you could think that Thanos is the good guy.
Exactly. Yes.
He's outnumbered. He has a quest that he's trying to complete. Normally, it's the hero that's doing globetrotting.
Right.
Thanos is the one that's going all over the place. All of his people die. Being the Black Order.
Check.
He has to make a great sacrifice for what he says is the greater good.
Which, it would be interesting to make that scene appear to be the good guy doing a good guy thing. But
well, the good guys don't always do good guy stuff.
Exactly. This is true. And that is a deep understanding of the actual story rather than, you know, the social graces and whatnot. But
just to look at the movie from that perspective, like you could think that Thanos is a hero of sorts.
Or really, I suppose you could also be correct in saying that in this case there aren't any actual heroes or villains. The only thing villainous happening here is a decision to end the life of so many things, of so many people and animals and just places, and not give them the choice. You know, so in that case, yes, villains still exist here, and Thanos does definitely fit the bill here. You know, more so than most other Marvel villains.
It's the Ozymandias complex. You know, it's the same thing with Ozymandias. You know, Ozymandias wanted to prevent World War III, and nukes were going to start flying, and he knew that the projections that if nukes started flying, then the world wouldn't survive it. And the world as a whole would be dead. And so his thoughts were, okay, if I plant. You know, if I can make up an enemy, and then
which he did,
make up an enemy, and then make people think that this unknown enemy, you know, caused all this destruction in this city, and that major city, and this other major city, then the world can come together to fight that unknown threat.
Right, and at least he would buy time.
Right, he could buy a lot of time, and the world will come together, and hopefully in that time he could figure something else out so that he could prevent this you know almost inevitable nuclear winter.
Right, there are similarities between that and this here. You know, this was just Thanos doing the things he wanted to do.
Right,
but damn, it was fascinating actually witnessing the growth of a villain for the first time in a Marvel movie. And this scene was finally the tipping point that showed us this is who he's become. Yeah. You know, this small white scene with Gamora, the child Gamora, and Thanos just speaking humbly, really. Yeah. You know, it was beautiful.
I love how they got this character so correct, canonically speaking. As you know, before the movie came out, I read a lot of Thanos like material,
right?
And one of those was Thanos' Quest, and that was an amazing read because it chronicles him collecting the Infinity gems. But even before that, in Silver Surfer Rebirth, he's talking with Silver Surfer for the first time that these two meet, and he's telling Silver Surfer, hey, my plan is to wipe out half the universe, but let me show you something. And then he takes Silver Surfer to like all these different desolated places, like, look at this. Like, these worlds, they're doomed at the rate they're going. I can save them. Yeah, Thanos looks at himself as a hero, as the good guy.
And that's the fascinating thing. Infinity War got away with showing us part of that. Gamora's planet was that planet. They were overpopulated, killing their food sources. There wasn't enough water.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, you know, and it's happening. But that's a solution that's more like, oh, shit. I'm not sure if that was a solution. Yeah, it fixed, quote unquote, the issue, but you would hope that there's a better solution. In this case, Thanos was like, nah, I don't care. This is going to work.
Yeah.
Boom. You know?
I think Thanos was like, no, like, there is no better solution. You know, even on Titan, when he was talking with the Avengers, you know, he said that I performed the same thing. I suggested the same thing be done on my planet, on planet Titan here.
Yeah.
And I was even going to put my name in the hat. You know, like everybody, no one's safe from it.
Exactly.
You know?
That's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
And there was a mad genius to Thanos, really. And I hope people were able to interpret that and not just see him as the current Marvel villain. Oh, wait, he actually got away. No, this isn't an old school story. Yes, this is an actual in-depth. This is a personage versing our people. And yeah, sure, we've been watching our people and, you know, witnessing their growth and their stories. And sure, that's made us always look at them as the one and only good guys. But in Thanos' mind, he is the good guy. And in this moment, I keep coming back to the scene, but I love it because this is him. And who knows? In his mind, he could be saying, I did it. I saved them. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Well, this and in comic version, he'd also be saying, hey, I might actually be able to, you know, get with Lady Death now, you know?
Right. That was also a
version,
strong factor in his decision making.
Yeah. In the movie, less so, but this scene always stands out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Yeah.
My number 4 is The Dark Knight, the opening with the Joker.
Yeah.
This was
that was iconic.
It was so iconic.
I mean, we've spoken about this scene so much. Yeah.
You know, I could literally watch this scene every day and be fine with it. So of course, you guys all know the opening scene where you know we see this guy standing on the street corner, you know, with his head down, and he has a mask in his hand. And then of course, you know, we see the scene where a bunch of masked thugs, you know, they go into a bank and they have this whole elaborate plan to get the money out, and then one by one they were all instructed to kill the partner that they're working with, and then it comes down to just one, and you know, well, it comes down to two, and he goes, the one thug goes, well, let me guess, you were told to kill me. No, I'm supposed to kill the bus driver. And then, of course, the bus comes through, kills the other henchman, and then this remaining henchman kills the bus driver and reveals himself for the first time in the movie as the Joker. And it was such an iconic scene. It was so good.
It did such a good job of showing his crazy and his genius.
Right,
because that's a hell of a plot.
Yeah.
You just robbed the bank and got out with all the money.
Yeah. Exactly. And then of course the line that if it was repeated a little bit more, I would fucking hate it by now. But what doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
That was great.
Yeah, we get that line, and yes.
Remember, that was one of the first lines some of the actors heard in the movie, and I was like, oh shit, this is a creepy ass character. Can we take 5? You know, like who was the gentleman who played the banker there? I don't remember that.
I don't remember his name.
But yeah, that was his first time seeing that, and he had a similar response, like daggum Bruce did. You know, just I'm trying to remember. No shit. My brain's blanking again, dude. It's help me out. Who played Alfred?
Oh, Michael Caine.
Why do I keep thinking his name is Bruce Caine? No, that doesn't make sense. Michael Caine.
Yep.
Damn it, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, and I've said this before plenty of times, but Michael Caine, like at the party scene where the Joker invades the party that Bruce throws for Two-Face for him running. When Joker first shows up, Alfred was supposed to have a line there, but he was so enthralled and equally frightened with the just physical appearance of the Joker that he didn't say his line. He completely forgot his line, and that's the cut that they went with.
Yeah, I mean, it was damn good,
right? but this scene here in particular was so amazing because it was not only a great opening to the movie, but it really showed us what kind of character we're dealing with and how dangerous and how equally, like you said, crazy and cunning he is. And it was just such an amazing scene to watch, such a fun scene because you know you think that they would start the movie off with Batman, because correct me if I'm wrong, but this may be the only movie that doesn't start us off with focusing on Batman or Bruce in some capacity. This movie starts us off focusing on the Joker.
Yeah, this movie definitely starts off with the Joker. I'm trying to think if it's the only Batman movie that does that. It's definitely the only one of Christopher Nolan's movies that does it.
Yeah.
Wait.
The very first Batman movie starts off with Batman chasing thugs on a rooftop.
Yeah.
The second Batman Returns, I think, starts off in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
It starts off with him, because he kills the thugs and he puts a bomb in one of their stomachs. I remember that. The Joel Schumacher movies, they are forgotten, and they should be, and I don't want to think about them.
Just don't think about it, buddy.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
Yep. But yeah, that's my number 4. The Joker opening in The Dark Knight.
Hell yeah. Mine's going to be no big surprise here either. So, not the end, but near the end of Logan, we see a very carefully done scene that I immediately fell in love with. I'm pretty sure I broke the knee of the person sitting beside me because I was like, oh my gosh! And you just get that excitement and you just reach out and grab some shit and you miss the armrest and you're just like... and then you pop a kneecap and you're just like, oh shit, I didn't mean to do that with my bare hand, I'm sorry.
I think I know the scene you're talking about.
So there's a very carefully done moment in the story whenever Logan is giving these recovering agents the help him to just kind of get back into shape and be able to, get out while the children go up past the border into Canada and whatnot. And then the children, they're being chased. And the Reavers are, just about to catch all the kids again. Go figure. And then take them back down to Mexico for more testing, probably. And then we hear this blood-curdling roar. And at this moment, my immediately grown man brain and my inner child both just like shrieked, like, oh my gosh, it's happening. My blood was pumping, my like, oh gosh, and I grabbed the person's knee beside me and they're like, hey man, what the hell? And it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. And then all of a sudden we see him just running out, and it's Logan as we've seen him. It's no longer old man Logan. It's basically a blast from the past Logan. Like he time traveled somehow again, He even looked younger because of all the shit he's got in his system to pump him up for this temporary one last hoorah. I call it his resolve, because he's just coming back and he's just not having it, man. The pure rage and fury that he's got going on here. Not only was it a testament to the real strength and capability that this hero's always had and always will have, but it was also a testament to this is who I am. This is what I'm good at. And damn it, I'm gonna stop you, Just really cutting the shreds every Reaver in between.
It really goes back to the last scene that you mentioned with Logan at the very beginning of the movie. I said that he just seemed so mentally defeated because he had nothing to fight for, but here he had something to fight for.
Well put, actually. I did not think of that angle, but yes, that's exactly true too. And here, one thing I also loved about it, one thing that definitely stood on my mind was how this wasn't necessary for us as the audience, Like, it was an amazing agent to use in the storytelling of the actual movie, and I'm damn grateful we got it. But it was also a wonderful gift to us because we got to see young Wolverine one more epic time. And it was fantastic, and it was great, and it was brutal, and it was real, And it wasn't like... It wasn't like the older Wolverine movies where we get to see Wolverine fighting and his claws just making sparks everywhere. No, we're seeing shit get cut off, And
right.
It was once again the raw power he's had. Just like one last Easter egg shout out, like, hey, here you go. This isn't Old Man Logan. This is Wolverine, and he's coming out doing some shit, fighting with X-23, who's doing a damn good job herself.
Yeah,
like man, adrenaline was pumping, kneecaps were broken. I had to go to the hospital for a perfect stranger, Damn.
It's just too bad that juice ran out right as...
I know, right? Too bad the juice couldn't be... I wish it was permanent. But It couldn't have been.
No.
Not for the sake of the story. No.
Yeah.
But that scene itself, man.
Yeah, that
My blood's pumping thinking about it.
That is a great scene.
Yeah.
My number 3 is the continuation of that scene. It's the death of Logan in the movie Logan.
Okay.
That's my number 3. Man, like the whole death scene.
Do you mean the actual, like, the fight and everything? Or what all do you mean?
The death scene. Like
right, the actual, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, so the reason that the death scene to me is so great is because it's like the culmination of like the 15 years or however many years we got of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Because honestly, like, you know, sure, we've gotten some dud X-Men movies in there, but had we not gotten all of these movies, then this moment wouldn't have felt so special, because we all have grown to learn and love and know Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. We all got to know this character, and throughout all these previous movies, that was his journey to this point here. And now, you know, it's at this point that we're realizing that this journey is coming to an end. And in his last moments, he didn't, you know, die in the pool of alcohol. You know,
right?
He went out fighting one last time. He found something to live for, and he found something worth dying for. And to top it all off, you guys know that I'm really big into villains and the characterization of the villains and their depths. In this case, the villain was literally himself. And I really loved how that mirror imagery of him fighting his former self, trying to find redemption and trying to find a way to stop that.
And the power of the messages behind that too. Like, daggum, that's amazing. Yeah.
And, you know, just hearing his last words with Laura, and, you know, hearing him say to her, you know, you don't be what they made you to be, you know, that also was amazing, because that's what Wolverine fought his whole life. Especially since, you know, the Weapon X experiment. That's what he's fought his whole life, was trying to be his own man, trying not to be what they made him to be, and him trying to pass down that knowledge. And then, of course, there's the whole foreshadowing scene from the Wolverine, where he's being told, what's the character's name? Yukio? I think that was her name. That told him she had the gift of premonition, and she told him, you know, I see you laying on your back. There's blood everywhere, and you're holding your heart in your hand. And now we come to Logan, and we see that in the metaphorical sense of him laying on his back, blood everywhere, and he's holding Laura's hand.
Yeah.
And it was all just so well done. It was one of the most graceful deaths we've ever seen, and also one of the most impactful deaths that we've seen in a superhero movie ever. This was just fantastic.
Yeah. Damn true.
Yep.
And that was your number 3, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know why and how we would have got off course, but yeah. Okay. My number 3 is an encompassing moment, actually. Again, in Infinity War. So there was something from the moment I heard that this was going to be a movie, and every time we spoke about it since, until the final scene actually in the theater watching the movie, that I've been wanting to see. I've been wanting to see Thanos utilize the full power of the gauntlet, you know? And I was not disappointed, you know? We see Thanos arrive in Wakanda, where the collection of heroes are just inside the border of the woods and whatnot, and the fight is still going on outside in the plain, and Thanos arrives not, you know, off in the distance to arrive and try to like get into the scene. No, he arrives dead center of the powerhouse of the battalion with Captain America and freaking Groot and Rocket, and everybody's there, and he's just, okay, where's my gem? Where is the treasure I seek, you know? And he's just throwing aside these heroes who are at their best, who've spent movies or multiple movies becoming who they were for this final moment. And I wanted to see Marvel have the balls to actually, you know, let the bad guy, you know, or quote bad guy in relation to our earlier discussions, actually, you know, not just stand a chance, but, you know, win. And this scene, they finally do it. heroes are coming at him, and he's just, again, tossing them aside, using the power of the gauntlet. Just no big deal. Like, F you, you're in my way, go away. And who do you think you are? You're gone. And then he gets the gem. I was a little disappointed with the whole, oh, we cracked it, no big deal. Oh, time jump, rewind, like.
You're disappointed in that?
Oh, a little bit. Because then it's...
Why so?
Because it's like... It wasn't the idea of the false hope. I'm okay with that. But it was more like, okay, I kind of predicted that. Like, I wish I wasn't predicting that. Like, I wish it came as a surprise. And maybe that's more disappointment in myself for foreshadowing that scene.
I mean, I think that everyone knew that was going to happen, but, like, the heroes have to do something to give themselves hope.
Right, and that's cool, and that's great. And it did definitely play that role. But I guess a part of me just wished that he got it and put it in anyways, and didn't. Yeah, but either way, it played off super well. It definitely helped tell the story, and you're right. It showed us the heroes having a face of hope put on, only to be shattered perfectly with Thanos just knowing how to use a time stone and doing so, creating the Soul Stone or the Mind Gem once more. And there you go. Mm-hmm. And then the snap, and everybody loses. That's it. Yeah, I'm curious how they're gonna pick up with that though, because the gauntlet did look destroyed.
It did.
It looked shattered, and the gems were cracked, and like, what the hell? It was a one-time use gadget. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
But the scene itself, where we finally see all this raw power come into action, amazing. Had me on the edge of my seat.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
agreed.
Yeah,
that was an amazing scene.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, my number 2 is the Thanos finger snap.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, so like you said, that entire scene was just all so well done. I loved all of that. Like, it was all just so much great stuff stuck into one scene. But the actual snap itself, that was just so iconic.
Now, we've been waiting for it, and it finally happened. Yeah.
And it's funny because in Infinity Gauntlet, the actual story, he's wondering while he's on his spaceship, he's wondering why won't Lady Death speak to me? Why won't she reciprocate my love? Like, what am I missing? What haven't I done? And then he realizes, oh wait, that's right, this must be it. I told her that I would give her half the universe. I would sacrifice half the universe for her. And then we see him look off into space in the distance, and he just snaps his finger. And now in the Infinity War or Infinity Gauntlet comic, this happens like maybe a quarter of the way into the book.
Right.
Like, it happens extremely early on. I can't imagine how the movie would be.
I know, right? If he just like instantly after 40 minutes, all of a sudden got everything he wanted. It's like, well, I'm not going to waste everyone's time. Boom.
Yeah. And he does it, and then it's just so great to watch, because it really is similar in a lot of cases to what happened in the movie, because we see there's like heroes that are hearing people scream, and I remember Black Widow in particular, she was really screwed up because she was looking at people disappearing and like, what the hell is this? And
yes, that is so. I loved the impact that had, not just on the story in the movie, but on the audience. No one saw all of that disaster happening.
Right.
That was amazing.
And then at that point, it became like, the Russos, they knew what they were doing when filming that scene, because it was like they put the camera on a character and then played Russian roulette with them, and had the audience think, oh no, not this person. Okay, they're safe.
Exactly.
Okay, no, that one's not safe.
Exactly. Like we're seeing Nokia. Help me remember. Nokia. What's her name?
Okoye.
Yeah. Not the cell phone, but the actual person. Yeah. Okoye. Like, we're seeing her like, oh shit, is she gonna go away? Oh no, we're going to Chadwick now. Oh gosh, Chadwick is gone.
And it was that right there was also a really great part, because he leans down to her and he goes, "This is no place to die." And the way that it's filmed, it looks like Okoye is about to disappear, but no, it's Black Panther. Oh man,
did you know Tom Holland broke script and improv'd his whole death?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did know that he didn't know it was going to be included in the movie, which is probably why he improv'd it.
Right, yeah. But no, he like, whenever he realized what was going on, he improv that whole scene, and Robert Downey, he just jumped on it with them, and that was beautiful.
It was.
What I love about it, honestly, dude, and this is going to sound pretty messed up of me, but I loved that we finally got a real threat, and it wasn't nerfed. You know, it wasn't Ultron movie version watered down bullshit. It was, this is actually happening, and it happened, and how are you going to deal with it now? Mm-hmm. You know, it was amazing. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so sad. It was good.
It was, you know? so sad. Like, this movie, I think, proves that you don't have to have a happy ending in a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like, you really don't. But yeah, everything about this whole scene, I think, was just amazing. Like, and then, because I think the first one that we see go is actually Bucky. And
that one pissed me off. Like, no, you know, but yeah.
Because it's funny, you know, people were thinking that walking into the movie, a lot of people were thinking Captain America's going to die and then Bucky's going to take his place.
I was one of them.
Well, that obviously is not the case.
Ooh-wee. Like, he's gone, Falcon's gone, shit.
Yeah, Black Panther's gone.
Yeah. Nick Fury's gone.
Nick Fury's gone. Maria Hill is gone.
Strange is gone.
Spider-Man Strange. All the Guardians, except for Rocket.
And Gamora's definitely gone, unfortunately. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the Guardians. Rocket made it. That's right. He watched Groot die again. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or unless you really believe the movie universe, you know, he watched Groot's son die,
right, yeah.
Or whatever. Mm-hmm. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. Did I voice my actual opinion? But yeah, no. That was just a catastrophic... There was a collateral beauty behind it.
There was.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, that scene right there just had so much power because the Infinity Gauntlet comic, you know, had that whole finger snapping scene was one of the most iconic moments in comic book history.
Yeah.
And then to see that done so well in movies, because they can easily just, you know, screw it up and just not have it be nearly as impactful.
Or they could take the safe route. You know?
I can see a lesser directors or like a lesser studio trying to make a movie of that impact, and then just showing random civilians go, and then none of our heroes, or just maybe one or two side characters. They can go the route, I hate to say it, of like The Walking Dead, where like your main people for the most part are always fine, but then maybe one or two of your lesser known side characters go. Exactly. But no, in this movie, like Caleb said during the Infinity War review cast, no one was safe. There was no plot armor. Anyone could have gone.
Yeah.
And it was extremely impactful and so great to see.
Too, yeah.
That's my number 2.
My number 2, I had to do a little bit of digging back for this one, but it always stayed with me. I loved rewatching the scene, and in doing so and successfully finding a YouTube video that housed it, I found myself watching it a few times. There was I'm just gonna go out and say it. So Magneto, before he re-accepted the role as Magneto in the movie Apocalypse, when he was hiding out with his little Russian family, and help me remember, his daughter, was that basically young Polaris? No? Okay. His daughter, who was in the movie, and his wife, yeah. There's a moment when the Russian law enforcement is basically trying to hunt him down and get his daughter and his wife, and they finally do it. And one of them, some dimwit idiot cop who made the worst decision in his life, shot the arrow, which, by the way, bow and arrow, really, but shot the arrow and successfully, some damn how, pierced the daughter and the mom.
Wife,
yeah. And got a double kill off of it. And this sets Michael Fassbender's Magneto off, and he just outreaches with that little metal coin he had and kills everyone, just slits throats, just, you know, freaking frisbeeing that around the field. That's the eye frisbee. Oof. And then catches it, and the things he says after that, that's what stayed with me. That's the shit I fell in love with, you know? That's what connects to me individually as Kevin Daggum Keister. He says, "Is this what you want from me? Is this what I am?" And he's just screaming it to the trees. He's screaming it to the gods. Just like, is this basically asking, is this what I'm destined to be?
Right.
And is this all you want from me? Am I a killer? Am I made to be, what people would interpret as this pure 100% villain, Am I made just to end lives? Because, again, he's brought to that role. Is presented to his doorstep like, well, shit, you killed my family. What else am I going to do here? I'm not going to let you take me. I'm not going to let you get away with this, obviously.
Right.
So, the hell with all of you. But in doing so, in acting like that, and taking back, the lives they took, he's become exactly the thing he didn't want to be anymore. He became the thing he ran away from. But it was so well done. And Michael is a damn good actor, man.
Oh, yeah.
I will watch some Michael Fassbender now, okay? And I loved just those simple lines. Is this what you want from me? Is this what I am?
Yeah.
Like, that itself speaks so deeply to me. Again, it speaks volumes to me. And I really connected with it. It just immediately stole me away, man.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that monologue was my favorite part of that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
And it wasn't even...
scene?
Well, I mean, it ranked above it now.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
But, no, just the depth of that, really. And it wasn't even a monologue. I don't know if you can call 2 lines a monologue.
That's a statement.
Exactly. His powerhouse statement. Yeah. Right. So I might have to scratch out the word monologue here. But, yeah, no, that scene definitely for me. Yeah. It was hard debating which one's going to be my top one because I loved that one so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for number 1, Kevin.
It is time for number 1. We're doing it right now, Q.
Yep, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it, people. Are you homies listening? You ready for number 1?
I'm curious which one you're going to choose. Yeah.
My number 1 is The Dark Knight, the capture and interrogation of the Joker.
I am not surprised.
You should not be.
I know, right? I am not.
No.
Yeah.
So to me, this is not only the greatest scene in a superhero movie ever, but this is, to me, I have to organize the list, but it's definitely the top 5 greatest scenes of all time for me. This right here just encapsulates and shows us everything that we need to ever know about both the Batman and the Joker.
Yeah.
We see first the capture of the Joker, which was, how could you not just fall in love with this scene where, what we think is a deceased James Gordon, and we see the transportation of Harvey Dent, because Harvey Dent has confessed to being Batman, and so he's being taken in the back of this SWAT van down to a facility, and as they're traveling, they know that the people, the SWAT team that's in the van is noticing something's not right here, and the entire convoy is a little on edge. And then as they go underneath this tunnel, they're approached by a van that pulls, or a big truck that pulls up next to them, and the door of the truck rolls up, and it's Joker with a freaking RPG.
I know, right? Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and Joker wreaks havoc on them, just completely wreaks havoc on this van, trying to get to Harvey Dent. And then, as all hope is about to be lost, Batman pulls up in the Batmobile, and you can just feel like my inner child leaping out as I first watched this part. Batman takes one of the RPGs to the Batmobile in order to save the people in the SWAT van. Batmobile is now incapacitated and is out of commission, and Joker's continues to ride on, as well as the SWAT van that has Harvey Dent in it. And then the Batmobile starts to rev up, starts to do something strange, and then the computer in the Batmobile is talking, or the Tumblr Batmobile is talking and is saying some funny statements, and then it ejects Batman as it says goodbye, and it self-destructs. It ejects Batman, and we see that Bat bike for the first time, and holy shit,
that was cool.
What's that badass?
Yeah.
Batman's riding down, and then, long story short, we see some really cool shit here, and then Batman is thinking about just running over the Joker, but he swerves out of the way at the last moment, and he tumbles, And then there's this moment where the Joker is about to unmask Batman, that the other guy in the SWAT van steps out, and it was none other than James Gordon, who we thought was dead, and he apprehends the Joker.
Yeah.
Now, technically, I'm cheating because I have two scenes rolled up as one, but it all flows together so well.
They kind of make a mini movie together.
They do, yeah. And then the interrogation, where Jim Gordon is interrogating this recently captured Joker.
Or attempting to.
Yeah. Trying to get information from him, but it's not working. And James, he's not really sweating. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to go get some coffee. You want anything? And Joker goes, well, what is this, good cop, bad cop? And James says, well, something like that. And as he closes the door, we see Batman step out from behind the Joker from the shadows.
Yeah.
And, the interrogation of it was so well done. We see Batman doing what Batman does, and we see Joker with that conniving, that ingenious of him, break down Batman and notice all the little things, like how Batman dove after Rachel earlier in the movie, and how Batman has nothing on Joker. Batman, like, his physical punishment on the Joker does nothing to him, and Joker says, "You have nothing on me." There's nothing that Batman can do that would make Joker talk. This is the first time that Batman has ever encountered anything like this before. Joker, of course, is one of the greatest villains of all time. And if we ever have to do like a top movie villains, I'm not going to spoil who I think is my number one. But it's safe to assume, guys, that Joker is well up in my list.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the entire capture and interrogation of the Joker in The Dark Knight was just some of the greatest shit that I've ever seen on any screen ever.
Amen.
I cannot speak highly enough of that. That is definitely my number one.
Yeah, that's a hell of a choice, my friend.
Yep.
I knew it was going to be Batman related. I already did. But even if we, even if we didn't consciously choose our top favorite moments, our favorites weren't always going to be conscious decisions. Like our favorites sometimes are just those that connect with us so deeply. And you've always connected with Batman and his stories and what he represents so well.
But, this could have been anything. Like, it just made it better that it was Batman and Joker.
Right. But, what better iconic duo than those two? For me, it's a similar story. Just as you've connected so well and found favorites and home in a lot of Batman storytelling and a lot of Batman scenery, especially in these top 20 moments, I found mine a lot, as we've heard in my list, even tonight alone, in Wolverine and Logan. My number one has already been mentioned, but I am going to talk about it, shamelessly again, but with my interpretation. Notice I didn't talk a lot during your time talking about this, but
it's almost like I knew this was going to be your number one.
Well, yeah, come on, it's not hard to guess. Just like I knew something from The Dark Knight was going to be your number one. Damn it!
You said something from Batman.
Okay. Excuse me on my looser language, but at the very end of Logan, after all the tragedies happened, and we know what's happening, and we know what's about to become of our beloved hero, it's still hard to watch, Even now, as I watch the Blu-ray willingly, it's like, oh shit, don't do it. Don't let him die. He's dying, damn it. The thing that always gets me, though, the thing that even made me teary-eyed on the first time I sat in the theater watching this amazing movie was the line, "Don't be what they made you to be." That still, to this day, resounds as an anthem unto itself, What better ending words for this particular person, for his story, which we have come to see so well. This person who's been the source of so much pain, who's been given so much pain, who's just had to make hard decisions, all because of what a few people tried to force upon him. That is a better representation than most things we can encounter of what actual life is. There are everyday stresses and people and just antagonistic, hindrances in our life that try to make us as individuals and you as a listener do certain things that are just not you, or even not good, or whatever the details are for you. But this one line continues to sound off, even for me, just reassuring that I don't have to do the shit they want me to do. All I have to do is take care of me. All I have to do is be what I want to be, and that is, I think, is the most beautiful message that Logan could have given us. The death itself was iconic, and it was sad, and it was necessary to really properly close the story of Logan and all the cool shit Hugh Jackman got to do with this role over the years. Because you're right, he's done it since we were damn kids, since we were eating cereal and Saturday morning cartoons, man. But I will always love this movie, I mean, damn. It hits me, man.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my number one. We did it. It took a few weeks, but we did it.
So now you guys, to completion, know our top 20 superhero movie moments of all time.
And if you ever see us on the streets or feel so inclined, we can have an awesome conversation about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully
sure.
you found some similar moments yourself.
Yeah. So I mean, if you guys definitely feel so inclined, then feel free to definitely post your list on the Facebook page, whether it be top 10 or top 20, however many you feel like you can do. But yeah, we'd definitely be curious to see what some of you guys think the top 20 superhero movie moments of all time are. So we know that there's got to be moments that we didn't mention that you guys just absolutely love and adore.
Oh, yeah.
But, when you think about it, 20 moments may sound like a lot, but when you think about all the superhero movies, it's
right. Not. I mean, damn, we did more than just the MCU, which my original thought was, I thought we were just doing the MCU, but no, there's a lot of opportunity, folks. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of material to choose from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I did not just want to do the MCU. I wanted to make it more challenging.
Exactly. And it was challenging. Yeah. I mean, it took some days actually putting my list and rearranging and taking moments out and putting moments in and then thinking back to myself, wait a minute, no, that moment was so cool. Oh, shit, I got to move all my moments around to make room for this moment, Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure we both had due process like that, but damn.
Yeah. It was a fun process, though.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I mean, this has been an awesome experience.
Oh, yeah, it really has been. So, yeah, we recommend you guys, trying something similar because it really does show a lot about your own taste and what sticks out to you and why.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess before we close, let us tell you a little bit about what we have coming up. This coming Wednesday, we will be talking about The House of M, the classic X-Men story from 2005, written by Brian Michael Bendis.
As we briefly might have introduced the idea of tonight in the question from earlier. Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. And next Sunday, we'll be talking about the state of the DCEU, and we'll be covering that from a wide variety of angles.
Yep.
For sure. But yeah, guys, so I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this one.
Yeah, sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. Of course, guys, before we wrap up, let us tell you also a little bit more about our Patreon page.
Hells yeah.
We are constantly uploading content under there, and the content on our Patreon page, while it does require payment on your part, a small penance, it is, however, all non-superhero related material. Such as we just recently posted about Rick and Morty.
Hell yeah.
We podcast about The Big Lebowski.
Oh yeah.
God of War. We are soon to podcast about the new Han Solo movie coming out.
Indeed, we will.
Yep. And shortly
an adventure.
And shortly thereafter, we will talk about the new Jurassic World movie coming out.
So yes.
So if you guys are only interested in our new movie reviews, such as Han Solo and Jurassic World, for just $1 a month, you guys can get that content. But if you're interested in everything we talk about, from the TV shows to the cult classic movies to the new movies to the video games, then for $3 a month, you guys can get all of that content.
Hell yeah.
And all you gotta do is go to patreon.com and search for Superhero Homies, and you will find us there in a jiffy.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
And if you still like all the superhero content too, feel free to keep using it on the Facebook page. And please send us a message. Let us know what you're feeling, Give us a rating, preferably 5 stars or more if possible. And don't be afraid to share this lovely page and our lovely podcast with your friends and family and even coworkers. Shit, why not? Let them have some joy in their life too, you know? But yeah, we'd be happy to, share this message to everybody and get more listeners on board and more homies joining the cast.
That's right. The homie army is growing by the day.
Hells,
and soon the homie army will be big enough to take over the world. That is our ultimate plan, actually.
And indeed, it is. We finally revealed it.
Yep.
Indeed, yes.
But yeah, guys, for sure, check out the Facebook page, check out the Patreon page. All of that support is always loved and appreciated,
Hells,
guys.
yeah, it is.
And as always, if you have any kind of questions, comments, gifts, threats, food supplies, or favorite moments, hit us up at superherohomies@gmail.com or the Facebook page, Superhero Homies. And as always, guys, I'm Quentin.
I'm Kevin.
Till next time.